Hello, so this is February the 17th ES review. Welcome to the channel if you are new. Just to say quickly, if you have not already joined our Discord, it's currently open and it's free to enter, so do click my socials and the link is within that. We are called Red Pill Trading, so please come over and say hi. Also, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the smashing the like and subscribe button. It does the channel a world of good and it helps other traders like yourself see this content. So without further ado, let's jump into the meat and potatoes and get into the good stuff. So firstly, I just want to start on where we started the day, okay? And we started in between this range. And as we've recently learned, we've got new week opening gap and a new week opening gap. And price will magnet to these and continuously retest them as a balancing of fair value, okay? So we could see that we were quite obviously within a tight range, chopping in between these throughout the entire day. But we had seen here in the London session that we failed to break through this new week opening gap, and we had already almost tested the previous new week opening gap. So we were working within that range. Now, if we drop into the open, we can see that this price action here was creating what? So this was creating some retail that we were going to break out, right? So we had some relative equal highs, and we can start drawing the chart out. So we had relative equal highs up here, okay? So this was our buy side, and this is where liquidity sat above. So during the 8:30 to 9:30 window, so this is the news embargo window, we could see that retail were getting painted the picture that price was going to break out and break above what? This double top, which was formed in from the midnight open, right? From the midnight, the end of the Asian session into the London session, which is the midnight to the 8:30 window, right? So we could see that we had liquidity sat above these equal highs. So retail think it's going to go and punch through, right? But what do we know? We know the 2022 model, and it's quite clear. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a purge on the buy side, right? And then a displacement leg lower to get a market structure break, retracement into a premium for a leg lower, right? And so that is what we achieved. So if we look here, this buy side before 9:30 gets purged, right? So what I do is I take this buy side and I cross it out, right? So buy side has been purged. We then get this aggressive displacement leg lower, and what do we get? We get a break of the pivot low, right? So this then becomes a market structure shift. We're then looking for price to retrace it into a premium, so we can put our fib across this range, look for price to return to into a premium, which would have been this fair value gap here, right? So you can mark out this fair value gap. Now, you may well have entered on this fair value gap and got stopped out if you put your stop just above this, right? But if you did, you could have just re-entered when you saw this fair value gap break and not wanted to see it break above, right? Or you could have got into a second entry, which I'll show you in a second. Now, what were we targeting? As soon as we saw this premium, what could you have targeted? Now, for me, I was targeting the new weekly opening gap. So if you drop into my Discord or my Twitter, you can see the trades which I took. And my trades were that I got in here and I ran it down. I took 10 handles. So this is shown within my Discord, and feel free to come over. We live trade every morning, so yeah, you're more than welcome to come. Anyways, we took these 10 handles here, called it out in live, and a lot of traders made a bag, right? So it gets down to new week opening gap and reverses, right? Now let me just talk about a potential second entry. So what I like to do is, if I miss this first catch, so you miss this first premium, you can look for a second entry. The way I frame it is that I take 50%, so equilibrium or consequential encroachment of the discount range of the displacement leg, right? So this then becomes your second entry, and you'd have your stop above this order block, right? So price is failing to get above the discount range, equilibrium of the discount range, and that was your second entry to get short, right? Price then reverses, okay, and we get another retest up here. We get this, this cup and handle. We get another fake out. This could have been your second entry short, and this was a failure of the midnight price. So you can see as soon as it breaks through, test the weekly open, fails back below the midnight price, that would have been your entry short. Okay, so that sums up the AM session. So if you missed that run, you could have taken this run. And then what do we do? So from this window all the way through to lunch, I do not trade. Okay, so I'm looking for trades to be set up and to form, right? And so I want to talk through these two things. I know a lot of people in my Discord get confused about MIP blocks, breaker blocks, etc. So hopefully this video will help you out. So this base here, so this is base pre-lunch, we get this run up, and again we form new equal highs, and it retraces all the way back down, and then it retraces back up, forms more equal highs, right? This movement here, it forms a mitigation block, and what I mean by that is we have a swing low, swing high, lower low, so we go low, high, lower low, failed high, right? Low, high, lower low, failed, higher high, right? So this then becomes a mitigation block. So price can return into it. We wouldn't want to see it break it, but that is your entry to go long, right? So low, high, lower low, failed, high, back into the break. This becomes a mitigation block. That's your high. That's your entry, right? And you can see that this then enters a buying program, right? You're now entering a buying program because what time are we at? If we know that I worked at algos, right? So algo at 1:30, it's not going to come and sweep this. Why? Because it's already swept the AM session low, so it has no reason to run lower, right? So we have our buy model start here at this 1:30 algo, we get retracement higher. Again, I took this trade here, I actually got stopped out, I had stuff to do, I'm quite frustrated because I missed all of that run, but such is life. I did get back up here and take another 10 handles, but you know, I missed a lot of the range, but it happens, right? So this would have been your entry off your MIP block. What would you have been targeting initially? You would have been targeting these relative equal highs, right? And then eventually you would have been targeting these highs up here. So let me just throw a wrong way around. So if we're looking at standard deviations and we're looking to take out the relative the high of the day, right, we're looking for the first standard deviation above the swing, right? So we have the swing low and we have the arm of the swing. Our first target would have been here, 91.75. So it didn't quite reach it, but that was my draw on liquidity, and that's what I was aiming for. And so I put it in the Discord. I was bullish for the remainder of the day, right? And so price then ultimately comes through, tackles this buy side and tackles this buy side. Then what do we get? So this you'll say, well, but there's a lot of candles I've included in there for a breaker block. Well, this is why it's often key to have a look through your charts, right? The different times. Time is fractal, so you want to be dropping through all your time charts to look for the most clear and obvious setups. So this is a breaker block. We have a clear swing high, and it's the highest up close candle within that swing high. That is then the breaker, and we wouldn't want to see price break below, so you can take entries off of that breaker anywhere within that. So if we drop back to the 1 minute chart, you can see that we had a fair value gap. It came back, just pinged the top of it before moving higher. It then retraces back into CME opens. That's the 9:30 AM price before having that aggressive run up into the high of the day. And what is the high of the day? So for you who know now, we have an algo time. So I trade to algo time. If you're in my Discord, you'll know what those times are. But here you go. You have another one. Bang on 3 o'clock, we get a retracement. You then do nothing. And you wait for the last algo of the day, which is what? It's 350, and you get that last little push up. So that's going to sum up today's price action. Well, it's actually yesterday's price action. I hope you find it useful. And as always, if you did find this helpful, please consider hitting the like and the subscribe. And until next time, trade safe, and see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye.